Considering that professional athletes aren't known to have super long careers, most of them need to have a backup plan. While some athletes make so much money that they never have to work again, others have to take up normal jobs to help pay the bills. Make sure to stay tuned until the end to hear about the former NBA star who now employs more than 8,000 workers. Before we jump into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and hit that awesome notification bell. Bill Walton. Bill Walton is an NBA legend whose professional basketball career began after he was the #1 overall pick in the 1974 NBA draft by the Portland Trail Blazers. He later played for the San Diego Clippers, the relocated Los Angeles Clippers, and the Boston Celtics. He's won way too many awards and accolades to mention here, but it is worth noting that he was the NBA's most valuable player back in 1978. A couple of years after he retired, he was inducted into both the Basketball Hall of Fame and the Oregon Hall of Fame. Bill's retirement was marred by injuries sustained during his NBA career, but he did find solace working as a broadcaster. His on-air style has been best described as both maddening and brilliant, and he was named one of the top 50 sports broadcasters of all time by the American Sportscasters Association. But just because he's a former basketball player, that doesn't mean that becoming a broadcaster was a natural fit for him. Bill had to overcome a stuttering issue that was so severe that he wasn't able to say simple phrases like thank you. Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson was first given an opportunity in the MLB after he was drafted by the Atlanta Braves in the 4th round back in 1982. But he turned down their offer and opted for a combination baseball-basketball scholarship at the University of Southern California instead. He was then drafted by the Expos in the 2nd round in 1985, and that's when he turned pro. At 6 feet 10 inches, Randy was one of the tallest players in MLB history. And since the average career of a Major League Baseball player is 5.6 years, Randy proved that he was above average in more ways than one. He played in the big league for 21 years. Affectionately known as the Big Unit, Randy was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015. Since retiring from the sport, this former pitcher now works as a photographer. His work has already been published in Rolling Stone, Spin Magazine, and Stars and Stripes. He's even been a photographer at high-profile events like NASCAR and the X Games. Randy admits that he's not the world's best photographer, but it is something that he enjoys doing. Adrian Dantley. Adrian Dantley is a former NBA star who played for 15 seasons. Known as being one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history, this 6-time NBA All-Star finished his career with 23,177 points in 1991. Though his net worth is estimated to be somewhere in the 7 figures, that didn't stop this ex-ball player from applying for one of the most normal jobs out there, a school crossing guard. It was revealed in 2013 that Adrian was working morning and afternoon shifts at an intersection outside of Eastern Middle School in Maryland. He was reportedly being paid $14,685.50 a year to help kids get to school safely. Then, in 2015, it was revealed that he was also working as a junior varsity high school basketball referee. When asked about his odd jobs, Adrian admitted that they helped to get him out of the house. He's not the kind of person who's going to sit around all day doing nothing. Kristi Yamaguchi. Kristi Yamaguchi is a former Olympic gold medal winning figure skater with an estimated net worth of $8 million. She was inducted into the U.S. Figure Skating Hall of Fame in 1998, the World Figure Skating Hall of Fame in 1999, and the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame in 2005. Needless to say, she's kind of a big deal in the figure skating world. And just because her figure skating career is now over, that doesn't mean that she's not doing anything useful with her life. Besides working occasionally as a skating broadcast analyst and TV host, this Olympian created an activewear company known as Tsuya. Inspired by the many years that Kristi spent traveling as an athlete, Tsuya combines modern designs with sophisticated style. A portion of all the proceeds also goes to her Always Dream Foundation, which is committed to early childhood literacy. And being the overachiever that she is, Kristi is also a successful children's author. Her first ever book was even a New York Times bestseller. Karl Malone. Karl Malone's NBA profile describes him as arguably the greatest power forward of all time. This 2-time MVP finished his career in 2004 with 36,928 points, making him second on the list of players with the most NBA career points. Coming from a country town with a population of only 200, Karl's NBA career exceeded all of the expectations that anyone could have ever had for him. Yet it seems that he never truly gave up his country boy ways. Besides reporting reportedly owning a couple restaurants and car dealerships, Karl is also a logger and a trucker. Starting the Malone Timber Company was the perfect way for him to adjust to life after basketball. And just because he's the big boss, that doesn't mean that he doesn't get his hands dirty. Karl works long hours alongside his employees. John Herschel. John Herschel may have had a short-lived NFL career, but that didn't stop him from earning $1.8 million during his 3 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens. Yet, he doesn't live the high life of a former professional athlete. Instead, he drives a used Nissan Versa and lives on less than $25,000 a year. And if that doesn't make him sound normal, wait until you hear about why he left the NFL. John retired from football at 26 years old to pursue a doctorate in math at MIT. He loves math so much that he now works with Texas Instruments as an ambassador for the subject. He makes school visits and public appearances to convince students that math is cool. Although John loved playing in the NFL, he's now focused on being the best mathematician that he can be. He even once gave out his personal email address to some students and told them that they could email him if ever they needed help with their math homework. Jimmy Yang. Jimmy Yang is a retired WWE professional wrestler. He wrestled all over the world under the ring names Jimmy Yang, Akio, and Jimmy Wang Yang. Although he left the professional wrestling scene in 2010, Jimmy still wrestles every month on the independent scene. But his main focus is his latest business venture, Jimmy's Redneck Party Bus. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. People pay a fee to have Jimmy drive them around for the night while they party. He does everything from tailgating, sporting events, concerts, and bachelor and bachelorette parties. People seem to love his business too. He has just a little less than 100 reviews on his Party Bus's Facebook page, and his rating averages out to 4.9 out of 5 stars. Deuce McAllister. Deuce McAllister is a former football running back who played 8 seasons for the New Orleans Saints in the NFL. He rushed 6,096 yards and had 49 touchdowns throughout his career. While still playing professional football, Deuce opened up a car dealership in Jackson, Mississippi. Unfortunately, this business venture was a bust and closed down before Deuce retired from the NFL. But these days, you can pay the former NFL pro to be a speaker at your event for the small price of $5,000 to $10,000. While that's not the most normal job, it was also revealed in 2017 that Deuce joined St. Martin's Episcopal School's athletic department as an athletic consultant. His job is to be a guide and mentor for the student athletes and to support the football coach. Vin Baker. Vin Baker is a former professional basketball player who appeared in 4 consecutive All-Star games. He's estimated to have made over $100 million over his 13-year career, but he doesn't have anything to show for it. When his career started to wind down, overspending and alcohol drained his bank account. Knowing that he had to make a change, Vin finally got sober and called up Starbucks chairman Howard Schultz. Schultz was the owner of the Seattle Supersonics when Vin played for them, and he gave Vin a job as a Starbucks barista. The former NBA star never questioned how he ended up at that job, because for him, it was a gift to be alive. But in June 2017, parents dropping off their kids at Camp Greylock in Massachusetts were surprised to see Vin Baker working there. Thankfully, Vin is still sober and is in a much better place now than he was when his career with the Boston Celtics was cut short. Vinnie Johnson. Vinnie Johnson is a retired professional basketball player who's best known for playing as the 6th man for the Detroit Pistons during their NBA championships in 1989 and 1990. He earned himself the nickname Microwave because he would score points in spurts and heat it up quickly. After retiring from the NBA, Vinnie stayed in Detroit and started his own automotive business, which he named Piston Automotive. Just 3 years after founding Piston Automotive, Vinnie was able to employ over 150 individuals in Detroit's inner city. He may have been a hero on the court, but he's even more of a hero for the impact he had on Detroit's community. Today, Vinnie's privately held Piston Group, a certified minority business enterprise, employs over 8,300 workers. While Vinnie might be nothing more than an ex-jock, he claims that anything is possible when you surround yourself with a good team. That's all for 10 once famous athletes who now work normal jobs. Who's the most famous athlete you've ever met? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.